Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Menomoy and myself are very happy and excited to present this webinar to you. So this webinar is about discovering the new Alwan McDowell suite, see what this color suite can do for your customers, and see how you can help your customers. And if you are a printer, how you can help your organization move towards future practices. So we are going to start this. Okay, sorry about that. So we are going to start the webinar by reminding you of the agenda. We will have a short introduction on the history of the printing industry, where the printing industry is heading, and we will be presenting you, Manu will be presenting you Alwan suite with ColorHub, PrintStandardizer, and PrintVerifier software, what they can do for you, what they can do for your customers. And we will conclude the webinar with a QA session. So a brief history, just to remind you that the printing industry has evolved since it started a few hundreds of years ago. The printing processes have evolved, the demand has evolved, the printing technologies have evolved. And all these evolutions made necessary changes in the way we address print. What we would like to show you today is how we can address a printing workflow today and in the future. We call our workflow the universal printing workflow. It is universal because it's a workflow that can handle RGB, CMYK, spot color, and multicolor printing processes. Any of these processes starts with color definition. We need a way to define color. Color definition is about identifying the colors that are desired by the customer and by the print buyer. Second step in the workflow is managing the color, managing the customer expectation by identifying the defined colors and by color managing them to the printed output, to the actual printing conditions. Of course, soft proofing and hard proofing are part of the production process. Third step is to be able to set, to calibrate, to stabilize the output printing process to the desired printing condition so that the defined colors, when they are managed and optimized for the actual printing conditions, well, these actual printing conditions are met on the printing device. When the printed product has to be assessed, CMYK or any process primaries assessment is not enough. We should be able to assess as well the printed colors in the product, but also brand colors. Print assessment and conformance, color assessment and conformance are two tasks that in some cases were done, but in the future that should be systematically done on any printed product. So universal printing workflows give us solutions and means to color manage incoming files, to process control the print device, and to check that the printed colors are as expected. So let us see now how this can happen in practice with the Alwan McDowell suite. The Alwan McDowell suite comprises 3 products. These products embed many technologies that we will not cover into details. We will just present to you how to use these products for color management with Alwan Color Hub, for printer, press, calibration and standardization with PrintStandardizer, and for print and color control and verification with PrintVerifier. So let us start now by taking a look at Alwan Color Hub version 5, the new version of what you used to know as CMYK Optimizer.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Menno Mooi. I'm the Business Development Manager for Europe, and I would like to run through the products that Ellie just introduced to you. So Alwan Color Hub 5, Alwan Color Hub used to be called CMYK Optimizer, but that has changed because now we do any color space and not only CMYK. So to use Alwan Color Hub as a color server, you can apply to incoming files the right color settings for proofing, for printing, and now with the new Alwan Color Hub also to go to RGB devices just like iPad or iPhone or any other proofing device where you want to show accurate colors on. It's an automated color server. It has all the known features of CMYK Optimizer, like device link generation, automatically dynamic tuck reduction, etc. But it also has some new capabilities. One of the capabilities, and that changed the user interface a lot as well, is that we can define the any color space. So the incoming color space can be anything like RGB, lab, gray, CMYK, HiFi, and can be set to any required behavior. And on the output, we have the possibility to output to RGB, to LAB, to gray, CMYK, eventually with spot colors and HiFi color. Apart from that, we have an option, what used to be called PEM-CT Proof, which is called Proof now, and that allows us to go out to monitor or to printer with a completely rasterized file. Some advanced features are purity, that we can keep the cyan, magenta, yellow, black, and spot color purities. And the combination of some of these colors. The reporting has changed to more job-oriented reporting, and very important, we have always had the ability to output to modify output curves, but now we have added to that possibilities for example, the flexo industry, which is part of the pre-press and the press versions of Alwan ColorHub 5.0. So the benefits are that we can go beyond CMYK with very vibrant colors. The accuracy, what we are known of with CMYK Optimizer, are always there. But we can now also do accurate color management on brand colors and visuals that are projected or used on mobile devices. And all the goal of Alwan ColorHub is to improve the print quality. Very important, Ellie already highlighted that there is interaction between different products in the workflow, and so Alwan ColorHub syncs for curve information with Alwan PrintStandardizer. So it's possible to interact between the two products and share also the color job ticket part of the different products. So it enables you to have less color problems and faster printing, because we apply different possibilities to the files in order to make the printing better and faster. And then there are the savings. On CMYK Optimizer is renowned for its ink savings. And now with HiFi ink possibility, we also can use ink savings. That means that we can apply certain algorithms in order to use as little different colors as possible or to minimize the tuck. And moving to HiFi color can save a lot. So spot simulation can save a lot when you have a press that doesn't need to be washed every time. The second product I like to explain to you is Alwan PrintStandardizer. Alwan PrintStandardizer is the link between the press room or printing device and the preprint organization. That means it's communicating information from measurements made in the printing or press room and storing that in the database, filtering it, messaging it per paper printer type, and making sure that the color server or the RIBs have the right information. So printer calibration and conformance in one product. In this, we manage the curves, so it's an automated process control and calibration possibility to any printing standard. Using intelligent curve, that means that you have curves that are much better quality than the curves you make by hand. And a lot of special features we use. We can use any control strip in the system and any reference with any instruments. And you save money by not having dedicated print sessions in order to calibrate the device. A very important point is the SCCA. This abbreviation is used to make sure that the color white of the paper is being adapted in the calibration. So it's the right pronunciation is substrate corrected control aims. So this is part of the new ISO 15339 standard and is already in our products and can be used to cater for different paper whites. The benefits of Alwan PrintStandardizer are to have a very simple, in a simple way, process conformance to the intended printing conditions. It can work with Alwan PrintVerifier, the product I'm going to introduce afterwards. So then Alwan PrintVerifier is used as a front end near the printing device in order to input data to PrintStandardizer. It interacts with Alwan Color Hub for applying changes in curves. It works with any control strip and any handheld press site and embedded instruments, so online, inline, and offline measurements. It allows you to have shorter make-readies, less waste, no dedicated calibration sessions, which is costly on a press, and very little human intervention, and with complete control means also less cost. The third and last product I'd like to introduce you to you is Alwan PrintVerifier. It's used to do print and proofing assessment and conformance. And in the new version PrintVerifier, which is about to come out, we have changed the user interface in order to do a process print color assessments to any printing standards, including special colors, ISO, etc. And now we have also the ability to do user admin mode. So it means that we can set up the system and have the user just measuring. have different color presets with the job ticket, the color job ticket possibilities, and have reporting as well on the screen as PDFs that can be printed or assigned to a job in an electronic system. Benefits of using Alwan PrintVerifier is you have one product for proof and printing quality assurance. Process colors and spot colors assessment and reporting can be done. So it's not only for CMYK printing, but also for spot color management and reporting. And you can use it as a front end for Alwan PrintStandardizer in order to have one product to do the quality assurance and the reporting to the internal system. We are showing now some small videos of the products where we try to highlight some specific new parts, new features of the products. Later we will come with more webinars which go more deeper on the products, but this will give you a first indication of how to set up an RGB workflow or how the products interact in a multicolor and HiFi color workflow. There will be also a video available soon on our channel in YouTube which shows how you can deal with a CMYK plus spot color workflow.
Okay, thank you, Menno. So let us start now with the RGB workflow implementation video.
In this session, we would like to show you the new Alwan Color Hub. That is the new name for what used to be known as CMYK Optimizer. Why is it called Alwan Color Hub now? Because we can go from any color space to any color space. So not only CMYK, but also multicolor and RGB or gray. It's very easy to set up because you can go from any color space and select how this color space is being reproduced here. So here you can see, for instance, gray for black and white advertising or RGB, and select the right profile that fits to, for instance, iPad output or to color proofing. To give you an idea of the quality of separations to RGB is here on the left. You see the original file, which has 4 CMYK colors and 8 Pantone colors, and converted by Alwan Color Hub, we now have an RGB PDF, which is very faithful in color and giving you the right quality for color proofing. So you see, Alwan Color Hub can be used in many more applications than just printing.
Okay, thank you, Menno. So now let us see how we can set up a multicolor HiFi workflow with the new Alwan McDowell suite. Wide gamut inks, stable analog and digital devices are making multicolor printing increasingly demanded and adopted. Its advantage, of course, is high quality colors, but also reduced cost, ink cost, as well as machine cleaning and preparation time. I would like to use Alwan McDowell suite to optimize my files and my printing conditions for 7-color printing workflow. To do that, I will be using Alwan Color Hub in the prepress to color manage file and optimize ink. In my Alwan Color Hub interface, I can choose my output profile. In this case, it is a CMYK orange, green, and blue profile. Minimize my ink usage, and I want to convert all my spot colors to the output 7-color process. So now all my input colors are color managed and optimized for my output CMYK OGB printing device. Now I need to make sure that my CMYK OGB printing device is stable. To do that, I will be using Alwan PrintStandardizer, which is a print assessment, calibration, and stabilization software. In Alwan PrintStandardizer, I will define the device, the printing device I will be using. So this will be my CMYK OGB printing device. I will assign my printing device profiles that I will have created, and I will set the aims and tolerances of my devices according to my desires. The aims are my profile solids, my profile TRCs. The tolerances can be for analog printing 12647-6 flexo tolerances, or for digital printing, they can be ISO 15339 tolerances. In all cases, Alwan PrintStandardizer will be assessing your prints and correcting for any deviation from the aims. Let us see how my printing process is performing now. The measurement file I receive from any instrument or from the press inline or offline instrument show me that the print does not conform to ISO conditions. When I look more closely to the response of cyan, magenta, yellow, black, I can see important deviations in the magenta and yellow channels, and I can see that my orange, green, and blue channels are not linear as I desire. And PrintStandardizer, in this case, will generate a tone response curve adjustment that can be applied on your production rib or in Alwan Color Hub as well. Now that the tone response curve adjustments are applied on your rib or in Alwan Color Hub, your jobs can be processed and the result of the printing can be assessed with Alwan PrintVerifier. As you notice, Alwan PrintVerifier uses the same target, the same aims, the same tolerances, and the same device job color ticket. This shared information between the three Alwan software guarantees consistency in the color management, in the process control, and in the color assessment of your jobs. As we can see now, that the file is optimized, that the press is calibrated, that the job is compliant with ISO standard. If I come back and look at the PDF file that is received for production, this PDF file has many spot colors that I do not have on my output process. I have here CMYK plus 8 Pantone colors, while my process is a 7-color CMYK OGB process. Alwan Color Hub color separation allows me to color separate and to optimize this file for my CMYK OGB process. The softproof here is not reliable, as most of you understand that Acrobat does not preview multicolor files, but the delta E, the difference between the spot colors and the CMYK OGB printing in these cases have been an average of 2. This is what Alwan McDowell Suite can do for you, and this is the power of the new Alwan software suite.
Okay, so these were the 2 videos we prepared for you. There is a third one which will be also available on YouTube, showing you how to set up a CMYK plus spot workflow. So I would like to conclude now by reminding you that in a printing workflow, we need to make sure that the 3 steps, color definition, color reproduction, and color conformance, are done according to agreed on printing condition, to agreed on standards between print buyer and printer. This is very important. This information today can be made available by the print buyer to the printer, or by the printer to the print buyer using the Alwan job color ticket, which allows each party to define exactly what are the intended colors and what is the actual printing process that is supposed to reproduce these colors. So Alwan Color Hub, Alwan PrintStandardizer, and Alwan PrintVerifier have been redesigned, have been developed, cross-platform, of course, multicolor applications to enable you to implement any printing workflow that you or that your customer need. I would like to end this presentation by thanking Adeline, who prepared it, by thanking Menno, who joined us here to present with us Alwan product. I hope that you will find in these products business opportunities for you and for your customers. We are here very excited to answer your questions and to help you in your first installations. So now, may I ask you to type your question in your chat window so we can have a short Q&A session. Okay, the first question is about SCCA. Can you please explain again what is SCCA? So SCCA is about substrate correction, which means that the measurement data can be corrected taking into account the actual printed substrate weight. As you know, ISO 12647 did not allow, and even in the new version, does not recognize in its normative part the correction of the aims or of the measurements given the actual paper substrate and the difference between the actual paper substrate and the reference substrate. With ISO 15339, as this standard will be published this year, this standard allows the printer to actually recalculate the printing aims, taking into account the actual printing paper, since, as you know, there is an effect of paper contamination, and so the printed aims may change with the paper color. SCCA, substrate corrected color aims, is about adapting the colorimetric aims and to have a more accurate assessment between the actual print and the reference, the standard colors. Second question. There is some benefit to convert from CMYK to CMYK OGB or OG without RGB source. Is it convenient for people that have 5-7 color print machine, but the use is 99% as 4 color machines? So of course, CMYK OG or CMYK OGB is extended gamut, is about printing more colors, about printing added value products. In order to achieve more colors on the press, you need to have more colors in the file, right? So if you have CMYK files separated for ISO coated or for Grackle or for any CMYK, I would say analog printing condition, and you just convert these files to HiFi, you will not see a noticeable difference. However, what you can do is to repurpose legacy CMYK files by assigning to the CMYK files wide gamut CMYK profiles. In these cases, you can have, for example, with ISO 15339 characterization data number 7, for example, CRPC 7, reference printing condition 7, you have an extended gamut that can boost your CMYK colors, and this boost is achievable on your HiFi process. However, you are right by mentioning RGB to HiFi conversions. This would be the application that would make more sense in terms of color managing and printing more colors than what a CMYK process can do currently. Okay, one more question. How can I build multicolor profiles? So in order to apply multicolor, HiFi color conversions to your files, you need output multicolor profiles. And these color profiles can be produced today using either Alwan Profiler. So Alwan Profiler is a very good profiling tool. The only limitation with Alwan Profiler is that you have to have CMYK in your printing process. The other option would be to send your characterization data to Alwan, and Alwan would generate a multicolor profile for you that you can use with the Alwan suite. And this multicolor profile does not have the CMYK component limitation. So in certain applications for ceramic, textile printing, where you don't necessarily have CMYK as primaries, Alwan Profiler would do most appropriate job than Alwan Profiler. So the profiling tool that Alwan has built and which will be used to help you build your HiFi profiles temporarily will be available to Alwan channel in Q4. It is currently under QA, alpha testing QA. As soon as it will be in beta, you will be informed and you will be able to test it. So do not hesitate to ask for Alwan support in order for us to be able to help you calibrate, characterize, and profile your printing presses so you can build experience while you get the Alwan tools who should help you be autonomous in the near future, Q4 most probably. Okay. Another question, can you explain how these new products benefit printers printing across multiple processes? Okay, so as we saw, Alwan Color Hub, Alwan PrintStandardizer, and Alwan PrintVerifier can work in concert. And for Color Hub to optimize the separation, PrintStandardizer to calibrate and stabilize the press, PrintVerifier to check print conformance to the intended printing conditions. So these products can do all this with ISO 12647 standard, but ISO 12647 standards were not designed to match colors across printing processes. You can use ISO 12647-2 for offset printing heat set. You can use ISO 12647-3 for offset cold set. You can use ISO 12647-4, 5, 6 for a graver, screen, and flexo. And even if you comply to these standards, the print will not match. So this is part of the evolution, which was the introduction of this webinar, and part of the reasons that the printing industry has to evolve. We have today to match colors across printing processes, and for that, ISO has built a standard which is ISO 15339, not very much known today because it is still in publication period, but ISO 15339 allows us to color manage with Alwan Color Hub, to calibrate the process and to control the process with PrintStandardizer, and to check that the printed colors, not only the primary process colors, but also the customer colors, printed product colors, brand colors are assessed. This is what ISO 15339 is about. This is what the new Alwan McDowell suite is about. Allow you to achieve color matching across printing technologies. One more question. What trick do you use when delivering rasterized files? Any issues with transparency flattening?
The experience we have today with the various RIPs that our customers are using is that the best way to avoid ripping problems is to be and color problems, excuse me, as well, is to be able to deliver to the RIP color managed and, when necessary, flattened files. So your question is a little bit tricky because when you mention transparency flattening, you are probably aware that there are many ways of flattening transparencies, of rasterizing PDF files. Adobe PDF library that Alwan products embed offers some solutions, but Alwan development team have developed additional solutions in order to deliver, I would say, RIP problem-free files to your RIP. So you should be able to use Alwan Color Hub and to rip Alwan Color Hub output PDF files that has been flattened and or rasterized without any problem. And if you do encounter any problem, we would be more than happy to address it. Currently, Alwan Color Hub is in beta testing program. Those of you who are interested, do not hesitate to send request to become a beta tester at the following address: betatesting@alwancolor.com, or you can send your mail to Menomoy or to myself as well. Another question: for PrintStandardizer, do we need to have professional knowledge to have curves, or if printer has reliable curves to fulfill a print standard from its CTP system? So, you know, the curve is a discussion. There are different approaches to: do we need to curve a press? Do we need to update the press curve? How often? How many measurements? And these discussions in the past led to different ways of handling curve correction. At Alwan, we believe that curves should be monitored in production. Curves should be updated when necessary because the tone reproduction curve, the TVI, the dot gain of a press, depends on many variables, including, of course, and not limited to temperature, hygrometry, to pressure, to process-dependent variables that makes the curve reproduction vary on a press. In order to be able to stabilize the printing process, we need to monitor the curve behavior and to adjust for any deviation from the aims. And this is exactly why PrintStandardizer was developed. So PrintStandardizer is a calibration and stabilization tool, as I previously introduced it to you. However, PrintStandardizer requires, of course, integration in your pre-press workflow, so you can get measurement data from the press room or from your prints, and these data allow PrintStandardizer to generate the necessary tone reproduction curve adjustment for your RIP, and these curves can be applied on your CTP system, as you mentioned in your question, but they can also be applied on in Alwan Color Hub. For CMYK curve today, we don't have any problem with nearly any RIP on the market. Digital printer accept device link profiles, so Alwan PrintStandardizer is able to output curves in a device link profile format. But in the case of multicolor printing, so more than 4 or 5 colors, some RIP encounter some limitation. So for your multicolor printing, multicolor calibration, here maybe Alwan Color Hub can be a better option than most available RIPs today. Another question. So somebody heard me speak about ceramics. So ceramic printing uses inks such as beige, pink, brown, etc. Yes, this is true. How can we position the new Alwan Color Hub to promote Alwan in this market?
We have an experience with a ceramic printing machine manufacturer where we have used Alwan Color Hub to minimize the number of printing inks, which means that in the minimum tack option with Alwan Color Hub, HiFi output, the separation is done with the minimum number of channels per colors. So here we are going to use as less ink as possible to produce as color and as less number of channels to formulate a color. This has an advantage, of course, in terms of productivity. And one thing that we are also working on in this kind of production environments is to introduce characteristics or priority for the inks. So we may use one ink more than another ink if both are able to formulate a color. So ceramic printing and specialty printing is, of course, on our radar. We have many projects involving printing processes that do not involve necessary ink on paper. We are very interested to know about opportunities, business opportunities, technical opportunities in these markets, so we can learn how to address new needs, and we can help you sell solutions and services with the help of Alwan on these markets. Okay, so this was the last question we received. Thank you for attending this webinar. It has been a pleasure delivering to you. One more time, we are available for you to support you in your first installations. We have a training program starting in September. You will be invited for trainings in Europe, in the US, and in Asia. So we look forward to continuing the discussion with those who are interested. And Adeline and Menno join me in sharing their thanks to you and making themselves available to any marketing, technical, or sales question that you may have after this webinar. Adeline will certainly send you a mail, expect her mail, so you access the videos plus other videos that we have done and that we will be doing in the near future to help you and help your customers know more about Alwan software benefits and how to use them in practice. Have a great day. Bye-bye.